Yo, peace, viewers and subscribers. It's Sean back again. I do thank you for all the support. Hit like, subscribe, comment, and hit the little bell at the bottom so you get notified when my new videos come out or any new updates. And please join my channel and enjoy my content. Now, basically this evening, this is going to be a gadget rant this evening. So every once in a while, I have a little rant, about things that bother me, about me, just basic rant stuff. Now, I bought a 3D printer. I do enjoy the 3D printer. I did go down a rabbit hole I wasn't expecting to go down, and ended up it become more addicting than I thought it would. So then, I was printing all good, and, everything looks to be good. I almost done to the first roll, and never experienced any clogs, never experienced any issues. And then just all of a sudden in the blue, got a clog. So then I watched a video with on what to do and, how to fix it and vice versa. So I know I was warned in a video that there is this little spring in the extruder that if you lose it, you are done. And you are. Now the thing is that I was most careful. I cleared clogs 2 times with no issues. Then the 3rd time I ended up a piece of the filament got stuck in the gear, so I couldn't the material wouldn't go through because it was stuck in the gear, so I had to take the extruder apart. And I thought it may have been, maybe it's the filament. No, not the filament. I used a brand new roll. I put it in my heater, let it cool off, make sure there's no moisture in it, check to make sure, no issues. Then I thought, maybe it was the bed, so then I cleaned off the bed, and it seemed to be fine for a little while, and then I ran into another problem. And it just seemed like it was just one problem after another, and it seemed like any problems when I ran into it was when the 3D printer go awry. It seems like if it would hit something like a piece of plastic that's a little higher than what it's printing, then I found that it would cause a clog. I'm just, maybe it's because the extra material is a little higher and it's melting on the head, and then it's causing it to clog up. So I'm not really sure what was the cause or what's going on here. But anyway, now I did eliminate quite a few things, and then I basically took it apart, lost that spring. So now I gotta wait for the manufacturer to send me a new extruder, and I did ask them for some extra springs. So if that does happen in the future, I have some redundancy so that I'm not down for long, that I'm never down. So then the other thing is I'm gonna upgrade my head and my heat head and the nozzle on the 3D printer. So basically now I'm going to go with a hardened nozzle, and I'm going to get a new heater head without the polyethylene tube inside of the injector that it heats up the filament so that it goes through comes out of the nozzle. And basically I'm going to upgrade that to their upgrade. And the other thing is, this is what I bought another one, which I was waiting for the head, but then I ended up running into that problem with the extruder spring. So I do have some extra parts for that scenario. So basically in the near future, if I have any additional problems, I bought the original replacement one with the nylon tube in it right there. This one, that's one of the heads that I purchased for the Anycubic. Now the other thing as well, basically got this one as well. That would be this one here. Those, okay, it's like here. And here are the 0.4 nozzles that I was discussing, that screws into the heater it. So basically that's those there. So I got 4 of those extra nozzles. So if they ever clog up, I can just replace them. And the other thing, beware with the one that comes with it, like this, that comes with the Anycubic, they basically glue it in with epoxy. So basically, if you're not aware of that, what will happen is if you ever decide that you want to go take that nozzle out, you can't take it out because it's glued, and then you'll end up snapping it, and then you can't change the head, and then you're getting a whole new one all over again. So basically, that was one thing that I noticed that you should avoid. Be doing that. Just try cleaning it out as much as possible. And the upgrade, I got an upgraded one which has the hardened steel nozzle, and it comes with the hardened steel extruder with the copper on it, so there's less chance that it will clog up in the future when I use this as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up quite a few different options, and then I'm just going to put these here in a case, and then what I'm going to do is when I'm doing certain jobs, I just take it out, swap it out, because I have the quick release on mine, so you can just interchange these really quickly. So that's probably what I'm going to do in the future. So this is the replacement upgrade to the one that was originally in it, and it is quite smaller than the original that was in it. From this one, compare this to this, big difference in width. This one apparently has the copper, has the hardened steel components, has the hardened steel nozzle. As you can see, it's black. So basically this, and it does heat a little better than the one with the bigger one. So that, I don't know why this seems to have less heat transfer, and that has more. So I guess it just causes a runaway because it's probably not as big as the other, which then causes it to be able to get hotter for different types of materials. So basically I got that one. I'll have to try that out and see what I think about it. I'm not sure what I'm going to think about it. Now, the other thing you gotta be careful of too as well, there's a sensor on the extruder. Now the sensor on the extruder, if the wire is not that long, it's kind of a little short. So what I ran into, the problem I ran into, I didn't realize that the wire was off to the side. It wasn't. And then I went and put the extruder down on top of the wire, and it went and broke the wire. So that was another thing that is broke on the extruder, which, there's really no point in fixing. It's pretty well back to no point of no return. And then basically, then the other parts that I find you got to be careful of, that I found that are very easy to break and very easy to lose when you're taking things apart, would be this following part. Just one sec here. Let me get one out there. It decides to. Where are they at? There we go. Okay. So these pieces you want to really be careful of. You can easily flick them. I ran into that problem. Right there, these little black clips that slide on the hose, the nylon hose, to hold them in. Very easy to lose those, and I use needle nose pliers to pull it out, so there's less chance that it's gonna go flying all over the place and not be able to find it again. And these parts are plastic, so you can't use a magnet or anything to try and find it. And then the little black things that go with this, that goes in, and then the blue thing goes on it, and the tube goes on top. This is very easy to lose as well. So I got 5 of each of those. So if I ever need to replace them, if I lose them in the future, then I'll have some spares available, some redundancy in place. So that was the other thing that I got. Now the other thing I got that a lot of people, if you're kind of discovering some of the little tools that you need when you start doing this. Now sometimes you'll get 3D parts and they'll have some burrs on them. that you can't get off, or they just are on there. And you can buy, it's called a deburrer. So it has a curve in this, it has cut here, so it's cut, and then you have, this one is really cool because you can push this down and you can eject it really easy, and it's not, you're not playing with it, so it's really easy to get that to replace well. It's light, it's small, it's made of aluminum. I have a plastic one, but I'm not very happy with the plastic one. I like this one better because it seems like you get more control on when you're deburring your 3D prints. Basically what you would do is you would just basically, for example, I have I've made this here, and basically you can run this along the edge of the thing, and it pulls off all the burrs, and it's completely smooth, so that you don't have to, no chance of cutting yourself, or you know, or just make it a little more smoother, look a little more professional. So basically I purchased that tool, and I do like the quality of that tool. It's very well made, and I found it's good for my hand. I just find the other one, it's just a little too big. I find that one's just the good right size for that I can have better control. I find the plastic ones some for people that have a little bigger hands, and that probably would be easier for them to use. So that's why I went with this one, just to try it out. And basically I do prefer this one over the plastic one. Okay, so I discussed the heads that I got. So you can get all different heads for different materials and everything. And the other tip too as well, you can actually get different printer beds as well. So basically if you're going to be printing PLA or you're going to be printing ABS, you do need different bed surfaces. If you don't have the right bed surface for the material, you will basically run into problems. Okay, now it comes with extra deburrs, so that's what they look like, not in the deburr. And I bought a quantity of them because I figured I'm gonna use quite a few of them, and they'll probably dull them down really quick, I would say, more than likely. So let's put these nozzles back in the box. I'm gonna get a tool screw organizer so that I can just put all the 3D parts and extra parts in, so that I don't lose them. There's less chance I'm going to get damaged. So I'm going to do that in the near future. So let's close that up. So we went through that, we got through also, and the heat element. Now the next thing I got that I figured out would be really handy. This is good for cleaning out printer 3D printer clogs. So this is what I got. I would probably suggest you to purchase some of these, and if you're going to buy a 3D printer, buy all the accessories. You're going to be there for a while collecting all your accessories. They're going to come across some stuff you're going to realize, oh, I should have got this, and oh, I should have got that. So basically just cut out it out and just get everything at once. So then the next thing that I got is, well, if you're on a budget, then you'll have to wait it out then to purchase your items as you go along. So I got a tube. It's kind of in like a capsule. You see it in a lab capsule. So this is a deburr, unclogger. So basically what you do is you put it into the nozzle, and then you push that plastic through so that it can unclog, so that it'll push the plastic out and will come unclogged. Because what happens is that the material gets overheated, and what happens is that it hardens, and then it doesn't come out as easy, and then it'll cause clogs there as well, from what I can see so far. But I could be wrong. But the longer I get into this, the more I do it, I probably will discover it. And, you know, I'm discovering these things as I go, and you're discovering these things as I go. So I just thought, you know, maybe I'll document this and talk about it. Alright, now let's see here. doing that here. Seems to be difficult. Okay, one pair. Gotta get the tweezers out of here because they seem to be making it harder to pull these out. Yeah. It doesn't help them having so many things in there neither. Okay, there we go. So I purchased some brass brushes to wipe off the head, to take off any residue filament and stuff like that. And basically you could clean your parts a little bit with this too as well. Deburr some of your parts too with these copper. They're kind of like our brass slash what do you call it, bronze. And basically it'll clean off all that build up of filament. I got 2 of them. I figured I'd get 2. We're probably going to ruin the bristles on them really quick, I would say, and go through them. And I got a pair of needle nose straight ones for spots that you can get access to easy. And then another pair of tweezers, but they have like a little less than 45. It's more like a 35, and it'll give you the ability to reach in and get things where they're hard to get, that you can't get with the straight ones. So, and it'll give you a different angle too, because then your hand is like this instead of like this. So it all depends on which situation you're in, that these may be better for a different situation. And and basically that's what they look like opened. Quite small actually. Close it, close that up, and then basically the other one will open that up. Same thing. They're black, and then they got chrome style brush tips, and that is that for that. And what else did I get in that kit that I didn't mention? Oh yes, I mentioned everything. Okay, so basically I'll put these brushes back in here. Okay, perfect. And we're going to take our tube capsule, put that in there, get our tweezers and slip them back in there. Once I get my storage organizer, I'll basically specifically have a place to show you what I do in the end, what it looks like, and what I put in my 3D build repair kit. So then you have an idea of some of the things you should have on hand that I've been running into. So basically that is that stuff. Now I think we got, no, let me see, I'll show you the plastic one that I'm talking about. You understand what I mean. I have replacement blades for that too. Where did that go? I had it 2 weeks ago. Way too many things. I should probably organize some of the stuff. Okay. Oh yes, and the other thing too as well, you're better off to buy the vacuum bag. Another thing as well they didn't tell you, but the vacuum bags, you have to use vacuum, and you have to put your filament in vacuum when you're not using, when it's not in the heater. If it's in the heater, you can leave it there for 24 hours, but after that you have to turn on the heater and dry it out, or do a new print, so that there's less chance. Now the other thing I found too as well, I started doing a warm-up on the dryer on the filament before printing, and it seems to prevent a little less clogging as well, from what I discovered. Let's see here. Where did that go? Just had this piece in it. Nothing there. Another good thing too, if you need to do any trimming on your 3D parts too as well, is a good craft knife. And it will basically, there we go, I knew I had it here, and here. Like a nice craft knife is really useful to have, because you can use it to snap off some of the supports. And another tip as well, if you're having issues with some parts pulling off the bed, sometimes you have to add supporting supports, meaning that there is like a tree style and there's like a skyscraper style. That's what I call it. I don't know if it is what's called, but basically you have two options of doing it to support your stuff, because what will happen is sometimes the items don't have a big enough base, and what happens is it breaks off the base, and then if the head hits the part, and then it causes the part to snap off. So if you have bigger surface space, there's less chance it's going to pop off the bed. So it's another thing. And I noticed some of the 3D printer images that I printed off didn't have supporting, and then I had to learn it the hard way, and then had to reprint them again. So it was another thing that I discovered, that most people didn't say what was going on. Now, the other thing, let's see here, just put this back in the drawer. I try to keep this organized lately. Getting way too much hobbies going on the go here, between vinyl, 3D vinyl sticker making, between drawing, and then between making stuff on graphs and stuff like that, and just give me like some ideas to put down, so in the future I can take a look and see if there's any of them that have already been done. You know, just a good way to write down some thoughts and some drawings and make some little diagrams of certain things that you may like to make. Okay, and now here we go. So the other one I was talking about here is the other the deburrer, and I just don't like this. I just find it's too rinky-dinky and too cheap. Ah, yes, I did say that. It's too cheap. I did say that. So basically, the quality is pretty well there. I'm quite not happy with the plastic one. See right here? There it is there. And it's quite thick. It's a lot more thicker than this one. So, see the difference? This is a little more control, and this one uses a little less control. This I find would probably be good for bigger parts, real big parts, I would say. And then basically you just press that on the side, push that in case if you don't know how to use it. If you do go to purchase one, and then you just press the black on there again, and shoot, just 1 sec, and then it comes back out. Leave it pushed in, push that in, let go, and then it holds it. That was that one. I'm not really happy with this one. The only difference with this one is you can put some spares in the bottom so that you can have them on hand and if you do run out. And then that, and it came with some extra replacement blades, just like the other one that you saw in the picture before. It's the exact same amount, and I think it even comes in the exact same packaging. Yeah, and it does. So I have enough of those for a while, so I shouldn't have to purchase them anytime soon. So basically, that is the one I'm really not happy with, that deburrer. I just find it's very hard to control. So just some thoughts to think about when you purchase one. So that was that. Now, as well, when you do start making parts and stuff like that, I know there's a big huge database of things that are already made, but I'm sure there's going to be some things you're going to come across that haven't been made before. The other thing I purchased was, just a second here. Whoa, well, let it control here. Okay, just 1 second here. It's hard to pick these up off the floor because they're so thin. They're not very, don't got any beef to it. Accidentally I purchased this one. I don't know how, if they made a mistake or it was my fault, but I purchased a bigger one with more drafting tools in that in, but this one was a smaller one. So comes with one of these to make circles, another one, and a ruler, and you know, your basic other things that you get in these kits. It comes with a compass, comes with some pencil leads, comes with a lead pencil, and comes with an eraser. See right there? That's what comes in. This one you can open it up from both sides, so I have to put the stuff back in and open from the other side. But basically they're the rulers for that, to do some simple drawing and give you the ability to why is that not going in there? It's going in there before. Okay, that goes in there. That goes, oh, okay, I see. Okay, perfect. And basically that'll give you some measurements of certain things so you can get the size of things. But another good thing would be to buy a measuring calipers so that you can get it down to like millimeters and such, so you can get more accurate measurements, so when you make certain things that it'll be the right size. So that's the other side opened up. Comes with the lead pencil, like I said, right there. Comes with an eraser. These are not full-size leads, they're just small ones. It's probably just so they can fit them in the case. And they look like you're getting a lot of needles, but a lot of the lead pencil things, but you're not. And then the compass. So, and then another good thing to do is use a lined drafting paper, block paper, so that when you do stuff like that in diagrams, you'll be able to use some of those sizes and squares to make it easier, so that you can mock it up to print it. So that's another thing that I got, that basically I may not need that as much, but you know, it's nice to have when you need to do that. Now basically what I'm referring to is the graph paper. It would be like this, and you can't see the graph paper because there's a clear plastic binding over it. So you open it up and it got lines on it in graph paper. So graph paper is really good. You can actually use these blocks for measurements for certain things, and then you can basically transfer that into the vinyl printer program that you're able to create the 3D images. They do have a lot of tools on there to do that, so that is what I use there, and I'm going to use to do diagrams and stuff like that, and you know, mock-ups of some of the things, and then you know, just basically just some extra things that I figured that I will need in the future. And you know, I can do some of that drafting stuff on the computer with the software from the printer, 3D printer, but I basically just wanted some things like that. I don't have to be sitting at the computer all the time. Maybe, you know, if I'm outside or something, and I can go outside and do it. So that's kind of one of the other reasons too. And I don't like purchasing tablets and laptops. I just find the laptops are just not for me. They just don't fit my needs. And what I printed was an that is a bed scraper. So that is another useful tool that I printed that works very well. And then this basically tells you how much is left on your roll of your 3D filament. And you know, then you basically, they do offer you two new cleaner things to clean off your head. And you know, that's basically the basic stuff that you get in there that I got. So the only thing is the those nozzle cleaners do tend to get lost really easy, so be careful with them. Make sure you have it on something, maybe use a magnetic tray so that it'll stay to the tray, that you don't lose it. That's another good option too as well. If you're taking it apart, put your screws in a metal tray, a magnetic tray, or a magnetic wristband that you put around your wrist, so that there's less chance that you're going to lose your screws. And then you make sure you be able to put all the screws back. And another thing as well, if you do take the 3D printer apart and you do drop a random screw on the floor and you can't find it, it's called a search party. So what you do is you just take something that's roughly that same size, and then you basically stay where you're at and you drop it, and then you pay attention where it drops, and sometimes it'll basically show you where the other part dropped. So, you know, just another kind of way of just trying to find your screws if you do drop them. Or you can run a magnet on the floor and you can find them that way, or you can use a magnetic grabber, got magnetic on the end. You can use that as well, and you can run it along the floor, and then you can find screws that you dropped on the floor. Not all the time you'll find the screws. Sometimes they're just gone. They just like disappear. I swear there's like little people that hoard stuff and take stuff away, and they disappear. I know, I'm not thinking of the movie. I don't know what you're thinking. Basically, that is basically most of the stuff that I did get. And the other thing as well, this is really not on the topic of 3D printing really, but when I do like to draft, sometimes I don't prefer to use a pencil. And I find some of the things you can get that I find are really nice to draw with. But once you draw this line is like there, and no way of erasing it. So basically these are the, I'll show you an example here. They're gel, and they got that fine tip on it. So I find it's really good when you're using rulers and you're looking to get a real fine line and such. And basically I've purchased a few of those, and I do find they're really good too as well. Now the other thing too, drawing, I used to do a lot of that when I was younger, and I figured pretty soon I'll probably be going to start doing that type of stuff again. It seems like it came back to being something useful that'll help. Now the other thing that could be a good thing, you could get a calculator. Sometimes you may have to calculate some things out, which, you know, it's not really a must, but you know, it's good to have if you do need it. Now basically another good thing, I hate trying to shade with the pencil and try to do the different like touch and the different pressure. So basically another thing I like to do with when I'm drawing is drawing pencil. So basically it comes in a case of 12, and it's 12 different blacks and grays. So when you're drawing, you don't have to try to do the different temperatures. You just pull out a different pencil for a different shade. So basically that I like to use for drawing. And on the back there's the different shading colors, and it comes in like a nice little metal case. And that's basically what you get right there in the case, and they're all pre-sharpened and everything, so it's pretty neat to have them sharpened. You don't have to go start breaking out the sharpener right away. Nothing worse when you gotta go try to sharpen something when you're doing something. So let's see here. Okay, let's put the calculator back. No need for it. Okay. Alright, fantastic. And I just purchased these up later. I know they're just kind of a cheap brand. These are just all one color shade. It's not multiple colors. It's just 10 of the same one. I'll show you these. Just one sec here. Oh, come on. Got these out the other day. Okay. Didn't even use them yet. So there's 12 in the box, and they're black. They're the dark shade color. And basically they come pre-sharpened as well. And the wood's black, and the shaft is black as well. And you get no erasers on drawing pencils. You gotta basically use an eraser anyway. I prefer to use gum eraser, and there's another eraser as well, which is kind of like a rubber, and I find that one works really well too as well. The gum one, I do like it. It does do a clean erase, but the only thing is I find you go through it really easy, really quick. So it's like an eraser that you probably wouldn't have for very long. So that's basically some of the things. And the other thing too as well, basically with those clean crisp lines I was talking about, I purchased a ruler. It basically comes in a tube, and you take it at the tube. It has all the different sides. Everyone has seen one of these before at school. Most people do have these for school. So I bought one of them for making clean lines when I'm drawing. I like to sketch stuff, not like draw like people or stuff like that. I like more like architectural stuff and diagrams and stuff if I'm going to do a project, or I have to kind of figure out what I'm going to need, just so it work it out in my head so that I can get it on the paper. So basically I can see if I'm forgetting something or forgetting to draw something. So I just find it was just a real good way of keeping ideas on the go so that you don't lose it. Now, the other thing too as well, which is another good thing, is the paint markers. These are acrylic marker, and it's not like a normal marker. It's more like those gold markers that you buy. It's more of like a liquid, and I do like these for drawing too as well. And but the only problem is if you're going to color anything with these, you're better off to use a backing paper or something underneath it, because they'll go right through the paper and then you'll get it all over your table and everything. So that's one thing to look out for. And another good thing I got as well, I just got a T-square type style ruler for the drawing, so it's another good thing to have. And that's basically all I have right now. I'm just basically collecting my supplies up to start drawing again. So basically just for now I'm just slowly getting all the stuff back again. So I'm going to have to screw all those screws. Nothing worse about those presswood drawers. Those little things keep coming loose, and I glued them a few times and they still come out. So every so often I got to screw the drawer cover back on. It's annoying, but comes with the territory, I guess. It's with breakable damn furniture. Okay, and that is pretty well everything I got lately. Oh yes, and another good things to have when you're drawing too as well, if you're new to the drawing scene, as well, you can. What was I looking for? Oh, where did that go? Just a moment here. Just take a moment to get it. Here we go. Another good thing I like is a good sketchbook. I purchased this at Staples a while back and just never got around to it. And this comes with 100 sheets. And basically, here's some of the things that I drawed. And you may kind of, not what I said I was drawing before, but there's one picture there. And then another one. Let's see, there's another one here. Okay. And so, okay. And another one there. And I just realized it. I used to watch an old show which was called Initial D, and it was drifting. It was like an animated show, and just by coincidentally, that's what I drawed. So I don't know. It just must have been on my mind at the time when I did it. And this is the other one that I started right here. I think that's everything that I did. Yeah, that's everything I did at that point. Only did 3 drawings in it. And this comes with binding too as well, so it's binded. And this has it that you don't have to pull the sheets out. It has like a crease on it, So you can just pull it out and it has a nice fresh edge. So basically, if you want to take it or frame it, you don't have that binding edge on it, so it comes off. And this is like an, it's kind of like a thick paper. It's not like your normal white printer paper. And basically, this I find is easier. I find it's easier to shade on. I find it shades a lot better than the ordinary paper. I think it's because it's not as smooth and it basically spreads better. So that's what I got there. That's for big drawings that I do. And if I'm going to plan on doing something really small, which another thing that I purchased would be one of these. This is just basically same. Yeah, it looks like my nephew's or niece got into my book. There's some drawings there. And it's the same type of paper. It's like a craft paper. So it's a real good paper. I like drawing on that type of paper. So I have purchased 2 of those. I got them on sale. They were basically, I don't know what it is. It seems like if there's a deal, well, why not? So basically, I just seen them on sale recently. So then I purchased them, and I figured, that'd be nice to have in the future. And basically, that's pretty well all my thoughts this evening on this stuff. And I know I kind of went off the topic on drawing, but I just figured this is a rant, so it's just basically no specific topic. I just talk about random things. And the other thing, let's see here. Let's put this away. Perfect. Okay. Oh yes, and then I think I have that in there to show it. Here. Like here's some I like to use. Where's it? Right here. So these are the craft knives I was talking about right here. It's just basically a craft knife that you just buy at Canadian Tire. This one, that's where I got this one at. And basically you just unscrew it to let the blade out, then you just screw it back down, then the blade doesn't come out. So it's not really a fancy knife, and you can't even put any blades on the bottom, which I thought was kind of stupid. Like, you got that big shafty in there, why just not make it hollow and put some extra blades in there for storage, and you have less chance you lose the blades. And it's just, it's just kind of, I don't know, just a thought that, they could have done with it. It's just like everything that's engineered, it's like certain things are afterthoughts. So basically, I like to use those to trim off excess material, and I use that for quite a few different things actually. I use that for like cutting vinyl, pulling the vinyls, stuff like that, to pull out the parts of the vinyl that you don't need, that you throw away. So there's like a lot of uses for those type of knives. Now the only thing is you can't really pry those knives. They are really pretty thin, the blade, so you can't crack them very easy. So when you are using them, just basically kind of pry with them softly. Don't go to town on it like you would with a screwdriver. So just another little thought to keep an eye out on. Okay, all back in. Perfect. Just want to see if this little rule will fit in there. No? I guess it ain't gonna fit in there. It's too big for that case. The looks of it. Oh shoot. Should have realized that. Put these in first. Put this in. And then close it that way. Instead of them falling in. So it's another useful thing that I got that I'll probably use in the near future. And another good thing too as well, there you got the old-fashioned the old-fashioned shaver blades, which is another thing. I'm really going off topic here tonight. These right here, and basically these are good for if you're doing vinyl on your car and you got, let's say for example, stickers on the glass. I don't suggest using these on glass. Do not use them on your paint, because you are going to ruin your paint on the surface of your car. So I only use these for glass only. So they come in individual packets, and you open this up. I originally purchased this to do old-fashioned razor cut, and I do that, and I still do, but these seem like they last a very long time. They seem like they last a lot longer than those throwaway razor blades that you buy. And just take it at the packet, and then you open it up, and you got a blade on both sides. So basically, if you be very careful, you could take this blade and run it on glass to start peeling off the sticker. And it basically is sharp on both ends, so you got to be careful they don't cut yourself. There is a tool you can buy that you put this in that basically utilizes these so that you can scrape it easier, less chance you're going to cut yourself. So I wouldn't suggest doing this if you're not very familiar with using razor blades to trim stuff. So you have to be very careful, and I would suggest it. Don't do as I say. So basically, it just probably some other people probably do that as well. Other people that remove stickers off glass, old-fashioned, and you know it's easy to remove stickers off of house doors and house glass and stuff like that. Because some people do put stickers on their glass as well to fog their glass, so it turns it into privacy glass. So basically, I use those quite often to pull stickers off. So, and I have quite a few of those, so it's going to be a while before I'm going to run into them. I can think of this evening. Yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment, actually, that I basically wanted to talk about this evening. And then, you know, these are just some new purchases that I purchased that basically in the future I'm going to use. And it's just nice to have everything on hand, so when you go to do something, you're not looking for something, or you gotta wait for something to come in. So basically, this is a great way of going about it. So that is everything that I have at this point. And you know, and some other things that I find, I hate the fact that Amazon Prime has a lot more commercials. If you pay Amazon Prime and you're paying $120 a year, you should be able to get free ads for nothing. You shouldn't have to pay extra for ads. I just think this is a whole conspiracy with the cable companies, because they're not getting as many people watching cable service, so they're basically trying to force all the streaming services to change into a TV format, which I'm not liking, because now they're basically doing episodes weekly, which I'm not liking that. And the other thing as well, I hate that they got those commercials in there. I didn't mind it was commercials for other TV shows or movies, but not to sell me things. Like, if I was interested in half of the things they suggest, I wouldn't even purchase. They're not even any interest to me. So, like, I just think that should be free. If you're a customer on Amazon that does not pay the membership, then you have to pay the extra money to have that free. So, you know, it's just another kind of thing that just really bothered me with streaming services lately. Even YouTube's getting bad for commercials now too as well, and they want you to charge for that. I just think it's just a way of getting you to pay more money for something that they didn't have to charge you for ads anyway. So I just think it's just a big conspiracy myself, what's going on there. So, you know, it's just, I don't know, one thing after another. And another good thing I use with the 3D printer as well I use some of this to clean off the printer bed, and it's 99.9%, so there's no basically no water in it. So basically this is really good to do on the surface, and it dries really quick. And they don't suggest you use any soap or anything like that on the printer bed. It'll cause it to become unsticky, and then parts will be popping off, and you'll be pulling your hair out trying to discover, well, why. So I use that, and I use that a lot for cleaning my label thermal printer cleaner, to clean off the thermal printer sensor, because sometimes the thermal printer sensor gets dirty and it starts causing graininess in your label print. So basically that's what I use to clean that, because they suggest that's what you should use to clean it, not the other stuff as well. So that's everything that I purchased recently. So basically when I get some more printer stuff, I have more stuff coming along, and I'll probably create a video on replacing the extruder and how to replace the nozzle and stuff on a video in the future. Alright, and if you do like this video, hit like, subscribe, and comment. Hit that little bell at the bottom so you get notifications when new content comes out. And hit any comments and just let me know. And do subscribe and support my channel so that I can keep up these different content in the future. Alright, and basically I do thank you for your time, and see you on the flip side.